we interrupt this episode because we have a book coming out.
Yo, so finally one, from teenage parents to married to divorced to happily married. It's coming out. You know when it's coming out?
February 14th.
2025, 10 a.m. Get your copy on Amazon. And listen, help us become number one. Help us take this thing to number one. I've hit number one before on Amazon. This is my baby's first book. Help her become a number one best-selling author by purchasing a copy February 14th, 10 a.m. on Amazon.com.
And everybody knows that's Love Day. So don't forget, February 14th.
Help us buy a copy. Finally one. Listen, check it out. It's on the shirts. Listen, hear our story, right? Hear our story, how we became teenage parents, right? To how we got a divorce, everything. We tell it all in here. This is a tell-all book. We didn't hold anything back. We tell all of our dirt, all of our secrets. We were vulnerable. We became naked, right? And what makes us so free of becoming naked, we became naked before each other first, and then naked before God. And then we were prophesied before we became one again that we would write a book. So we were obedient in writing this book. We didn't want to do this, right?
No, I did not.
We did not want to do it.
I didn't.
I didn't want to do it either. But we were obedient to the Father, wrote this book to help couples, to help relationships, to help people who are thinking about getting married. This will help you, right? This is a testimony. This is ministry. This is our obedience. So get a copy, finally one, from teenage parents to married to divorced to happily married to each other again.
Yes.
February 14th. Get your copy.
I hope it blesses you.
Welcome to another episode of the Finally One podcast. I'm Kelly.
Hey, I'm Natasha.
Yo, so, been another week. We back at it, right? How you think we doing?
I think we're doing pretty good.
I think we're helping people. We're going to be here.
Starting to open up a little bit.
Yeah, you got to open up.
I said I'm starting to open up a little bit.
Dude, you got to act the donkey like you be doing when we're not on camera.
I do not act a donkey.
Dude,
No, I don't.
So y'all think she all shy, she reserved.
I am.
No. Before I get on you, I want to give a shout out to Men Matter Clothing. Shout out to my guy Walt Harris and his wife, Mrs. Harris. Shout out, amazing quality of this hoodie. Man, I appreciate the love. Make sure y'all go check out Men Matter Clothing. Let me get the website right. So, yep, it's just menmatterclothing.com. I'm going to put a link in the description. They got your boy looking fly today. So I appreciate the love. Make sure y'all go check them out. And let's say something else too. So if you got a Christian clothing brand, right, and you want us to rock it on the episode, guess what?
Hey.
Send it to us, right? Send us an email if you would like our shipping address. And you can send it to us. We'll rock it on the episode, especially if it's dope. My baby saw this. What you say when you saw this?
Yeah, I was like, that's nice. That's fire. Like, can they send me one? Like, I had to go and pull out mine that my boo made me, but you know, you can send me something.
So yeah, so make sure you guys send us both one. But if you got a Christian clothing line, you got something you want us to rock, send it to us. If we like it, we'll rock it and wear it and give you a shout out. So yeah. So how you feel, baby?
I feel good.
You feel good?
How you feel?
I feel good too. It's book launch week.
Hey!
Our book comes out.
Three times.
You ain't tell me. You ain't tell me.
1, 2, 3.
You ain't tell me. You gotta tell me how many times. But the book is coming out. Tell them about the book real quick.
Finally one, guys. This is just, let's see, from teenage parents to married to divorced to happily married. That's our book. Like, we did that. Well, I did that because, you know, he missed a publisher here, but I did my first book. I never thought like I would be a writer or anything, but I just told the story. Like, that's simply all it was telling our story.
Yeah.
So.
And it was, man, it was We actually recorded the audiobook yesterday. How was that? Tell them about the audiobook. Wait. First, before we start talking about the book, let's do the question. That way, then we can talk about the book. So we got a question. We're gonna once again, it's gonna be anonymous.
Anonymous.
You gonna read it? Or you want me to read it? No, I'm gonna read it. You answer. Okay. We love this question, by the way, because I ain't gonna say because, but we love this question. All right. It says, should you be quiet having sex with your partner? You're married, but you have a grown kid in your house, like one of your children are still in your home and they're grown, right? Should you be quiet when having sex? What do you think?
As for me, I feel uncomfortable with having my kids in the house. Like, I know that's my husband, I know that, but I feel like I can be free, and I guess that's why they say, like, when they grown, they need to be out, but I just feel like, I don't know how I feel, but
you do know,
like, if they're not here, like, I can be free, I can be wild.
But so you're uncomfortable if they're here. Like, we're dealing with this right now. So this is a thing. I want her to share, and I want us to talk about. So great question. Who sent this question in? And if y'all got questions, send them in, please. But why are you uncomfortable? Number one, we're married, so our marriage bed is undefiled.
Right.
And while they were growing up, we were quiet or tried to be quiet. Mm-hmm. Now I feel like I'm a grown man. Like, why I gotta be quiet or why I gotta try to act like I'm sneaking? It makes me feel like I'm a teenager again. I'm not sneaking. I'm in covenant with my wife.
Another thing is just when we were married the first time. This is so funny. I don't even know if you remember this, but we were having sex and my son woke up, which he stayed in our room. He slept on his toddler bed down below us.
I don't remember this.
He woke up while we were having sex and said, Mommy, why are you crying? You do not remember that?
I do not remember this.
I just brought back memories. But, I mean,
we're talking about a grown kid.
No, I know. But that made me think of it with a kid being in the house. But I just feel like I can be free and let go if that, and I guess, because I've never dealt with it, like, I was a single parent mom where I didn't have
Your mom was single, so
right,
she didn't have guys in the house and stuff?
Right, so I didn't have to worry about that or anything. And I don't know why. Like you said, we are married.
And they're grown.
But it's just still, I don't know if it's like...
Should you be quiet? That's the question. So should you be quiet? You say yes? You say you should be quiet?
I don't say that I should be quiet, but I just don't feel comfortable being loud and
free. You can't be free.
Yeah.
Man, y'all put y'all thoughts below. I hate it. Like, I literally hate it. I almost don't be wanting to when our grown child is in the house. Like, it sucks. Like, cause like I said, I'm grown and I don't like being quiet. Like, we did that while they were growing up. Now they grown. They know we married and they know we have sex. So why should we be hiding it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hiding and sneaking when I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid. It makes me feel like I'm a kid or I'm doing something wrong because I gotta hide and I gotta sneak and I gotta be quiet and I gotta...
But sometimes don't that like turn you on trying to be quiet and like...
Sometimes, but not at home. So say like there was one time, right? We shared a hotel room with our daughter and we were sneaking. Now that right there, we waited till she went and take her shower.
So stupid.
Now I can get with that. That's different. But I'm talking about we at home now, and it's like that. I don't like that, but it does add some spontaneity when you're quiet and you're sneaking. Is that right? Did I say that right?
I don't know if that's how you say it or not.
Whatever. Spontaneity. Yeah.
Okay.
Spontaneous. Like,
there you go.
but spontaneity is another form of that when you're doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway.
Learning something new.
So that's fun. Like when you're in different scenarios or different places. Now, I'm not talking about at somebody else's house. I think that is disrespectful.
Yes, that's very
at somebody else's house. I'm talking about we're at home. Our grown child is in our house.
Okay.
Right?
Can we talk about the
book? We're married.
Can we talk about the book?
We're under the covenant, right? Okay, let's talk about the book. There's a part in the book when Tasha told her mom she was pregnant. You want to talk about that?
Oh, wow. Really?
Right? You were 16, you had to tell your mama you was pregnant. That's in the book. And instead of a normal 16-year-old who's afraid to tell their mom that they're pregnant, what did you tell your mom? How did you say it to your mom? Huh? Do I need to go to the page?
Really? We doing this right now?
Yep. What did you say?
Anyway, I knew I shouldn't have been out there doing the stuff anyway, but I went to my mother and told her I was having sex. And
That's how she said it to her mom. Go ahead.
Told her that I was having relations.
No, you didn't. How you say it? Tell them how you said it. How you told your mom? I'm looking for.
I don't remember exactly how I said. Listen, let me get it out. But she was laying in her room. I walked upstairs to her room, and I was terrified of how I was going to bring it to her. But I told her I had been having sex, and I had gotten pregnant, like that. Good gosh.
Okay.
And she looked at me and said, well, I knew something because you hadn't been asking for tampons. You hadn't been asking for pads. I didn't think about all of that when it was going on. But yeah, so.
So we was, just me personally, I just want to comment on that. I just couldn't believe she said to her mom like that, yo, I've been having sex. Who says that to their mom? But yet you, anyway. Listen, if you would like for us to come to your church, share our testimony, or come to your next event, do a workshop on our 7 steps to becoming one, we would love to. We would love to share how we went from teenage parents to married to divorced and then happily married to each other again. Sweetheart, tell them how they can get in contact with us.
Yes, reach out to us through email. It's admin@kellyandnatasha.com. That's ADMINKELLY and NATASHA.com.
Yep, and you can also go to the website.
Oh yeah, the website is kellyandnatasha.com.
Yep.
Simple.
We would love to help your congregation. We would love to help and be a blessing to your event. So just go now. Go check us out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But what?
What was different that you want to be quiet? We got a grown kid in our house.
Oh, that's it.
That's the yet. Anyway.
Okay.
So we were talking to her cousin today, and her cousin was telling the story about when y'all found out, and you was at the top of the steps. Tell them what you said.
No, since you talking, go on and tell.
You didn't put it in the book, so you can tell them. I wasn't there, so you got to tell it.
So I was devastated that I was having a baby. I was like, how could I do something like this? How could I get pregnant? And y'all gotta understand, it was peer pressure. I wanted to have sex and everything, but Kelly was the only person I've ever been with. So,
it was your second time.
Yeah, it was.
The second time.
So, I was. So you can imagine how I was feeling. So I was standing. Like I said, we lived we had to walk upstairs to get our room. So I was standing at the top of the steps, and I just wanted to fall down the steps because I did not want to have a baby. I did not want to be that person that sweet 16, but I mean not sweet 16, 16 and pregnant. That should have been our show. They came out with that afterwards. But anyway, I just didn't want that. But God, Aaron is here. He's my baby. He's 25 now.
Right.
And I praise God for that because me and my son, we grew together. I watched my son. I was growing while he was growing. So, and I love my son. I love all of my kids. But like, it was just something about that. Like him being my firstborn, pregnant at 16, and like watching him and his career now. Like that, it's amazing.
We never talk about that. We gotta do a episode talking about our son, but this ain't about him. That's real. Like, we didn't know what we were gonna do.
No.
I don't know if we talked about this in other episodes. I can't remember right now, but we didn't know what we was gonna do. I don't want to go down there because we've talked about that part. Here's my question for you. What was your hardest part to write about in the book? Or open up about in the book? Like, what was your hardest part?
Just going back to the part where I had lied to you about certain stuff, like that was hard. And then for you to, how it made you feel and how your reaction, like that was probably the hardest.
Yeah, I would say too, same thing, kind of the same thing. Not that part. For me, the hardest part for me was realizing or reliving my mindset of being, being a newlywed or being in church, but having all of this guilt and this shame. Like, the enemy used to just beat my brains out with like just thoughts of, I felt like because I was married and I had this child out of wedlock and I had this sex addiction that I was healing from and I was fighting and all of these things, the enemy would just wear my head out on, I was dirty or I was just this terrible person, and that I had this scarlet letter and I just was so worried about everybody looking at me at the church and how they thought about me, and it just I'm telling you, my mind. So that was tough for me, thinking back on how I allowed the enemy to mess with my mind and made me feel, less than, instead of me walking in the freedom of the Lord and realizing that, he loved me, right? The pastor said something the other day when he was talking about, Solomon, right? I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but one of the things that stood out to me was when he was stripping everything away from Solomon, he says, I'm not going to do it now, and I'm not going to take everything because of your father David, right? And we know the story of David. David, to get Bathsheba, killed her husband, right? And still was named a man after God's own heart. And God still honored and didn't destroy his son because of him. And when you think about that as a man now, I wish I was able to embrace God's love. Like, he did not see me as my mistakes. Does that make sense? Like, he didn't see me as an adulterer. That wasn't I was his son. Does it make sense? Like, I hope y'all getting what I'm saying. Like, God doesn't view you as what you have done. He doesn't view you as your mistakes.
Yeah.
You're his son, right? And I talk about this in the book too, about how there was a period when I was trying to get Tasha back, but I was praying for hope. Like, I was just on, like, will you just give me some hope? Like, will you let me know, like, I got a chance? Will you give me something? And this one particular day, I was in Atlanta, getting ready to go to church. I was visiting my people, Open Wings Ministries. Shout out to Pastor D, Pastor Tate, my boy Marquell, the whole crew. But anyway, I was visiting there, and before I went in, I was like, God, will you allow her to give me some hope? And God said this to me, and this changed everything for me. He said, be patient. He said, because you're my son, just like she's my daughter. And let me stop right there for a minute. I felt like she meant more to him or was closer to him because in the 6 years she was going to church and I wasn't. I was in a backslidden state, right? He says, listen, you're my son just like she's my daughter. Not only am I preparing you for her, I'm preparing her for the new you. And I just felt his overwhelming love and hope, right? So I hope you get that. Like nobody, right, in God's eyes is better than you, right? Like there's no respected person. I don't care what you done. He loves each and every one of us the same, right? And I remember we talked about in the last episode of how we started doing devotion, right? And I don't remember what devotion we were doing, but I started to get the revelation of the love of God, right? And if we desire to be more like him, we should desire to love like him, right? And loving our enemies, right? And I remember I was sharing my son the revelation, and he said, you mean to tell me you love this person and this person had done some bad things to me? He said, you telling me you love this person as much as you love me? And I said, what I'm telling you is, because I want to be like Christ, I have no choice but to love him as much as I love you. I hope y'all get that. Go ahead, baby. I've been talking for a minute. I hope y'all get that revelation. How can I say I love Christ, right? And I don't love like he loved, or I'm not on a quest to love like he loved. I don't have a choice but to love my enemies as much as I love my loved ones, if I want to be more like him, and that's my goal. Go ahead, babe.
I just had a thought when you were talking about David and Solomon, and like, how do you feel about them? Well, I probably know how you feel, but about all the concubines and all that.
Really,
like,
babe?
That's what I said.
That's what you want to do? You want to bring that to the pod?
Yeah.
Really, babe?
Yeah.
How do I feel?
Okay,
I'll answer. Will you finish with the question? I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, I am. It's just, do you think that's why some men's mindset is the way, like, they smashing this one and that because, okay, so.
No, finish your question. I was saying I don't think that is why. I think men who are promiscuous and men who have to lay with a bunch of women, they need to heal. And I could just say that from my experience, right? There's a heart issue, right? Now I'm talking about men who claim to be men of God and who want to be more like Christ. Listen, this is for you. Like, you need to heal. If you feel like you have to lay with every woman and all of this, like, listen to me. I can tell you from experience, you need to heal. There's something broken in you. You need to heal. For me, as I said, I mentioned this in the last episode. I don't know if it was the last episode, but I had to heal, right? Now, does the flesh always want pleasure? Yes, Solomon even says that. Like, it's never enough pleasure for the flesh. But in order to walk with the Lord, we have to deny and kill our flesh daily, right? So going back, what do I think about men having multiple wives and concubines and all of that? I want to understand the question. How do I think about it in that time? Or did I answer it in today's time?
Yeah, in today's time. Yeah, I was just thinking, is that I think they do men see, like, that it's okay, like, because of how when back in the day, like.
No, because in the New Testament, I think that changed. I think, when they said, let every man have, his wife, one wife, maybe one, let every woman have her husband. I think that changed, right? There are some people, I'm not one of them, there are some men, some people who believe that polygamy is okay in God's eyes. I don't have that conviction, I don't have
Why
that
you used to
condition.
say it? We could be the sister wives. Da 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 da.
Because I wanted my cake and eat it too. I wanted sister wives, right? I wanted all my kids in one house, right? And I felt like that would be one way to do it, but I would have had hell on my hands, boy. Man, to have more than one of you, no. Deal with more than one, you know, mood swing, more than one personality, no, absolutely not. Because when I was out there, right, speaking in those 6 years, and I was all over the place, right, messing with different women and all that stuff, I had no peace, number one. Number two, I couldn't focus, right? I couldn't get the best out of anything. My business was failing. Like, it was bad. And coming under the covenant, becoming one with you, gave me peace, gave me direction, gave me focus, gave me favor. Now that's the thing you can't put a price on. The favor of being one with the Lord and being one with my wife and being focused on Him, our ministry, what we've been called to do and do this. Like, I couldn't do this with, the pastor talked about, I couldn't do this with a friend, right? I couldn't be on a podcast with a friend, a female friend I'm not married to, I'm not in covenant with. What happens when she get mad and she no longer wants to be married? I mean, not even married. She don't want to be friends no more. Or we get mad and I don't want to be friends no more. Mm-hmm. No, we have covenant. I ain't going nowhere, she ain't going nowhere. Right? And if she try, I'm going wherever she going. Point blank period, right? So this is covenant. And I don't think that I would have peace, clarity, favor, focus, all of the things if I wasn't focused on one woman and I wasn't disciplined enough to be with one woman. Now, does my flesh, I'm gonna keep it, this is a podcast, we're gonna keep it all the way above. Does my flesh sometimes desire a concubine? Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Right? I'm not dead. But what keeps me is the covenant. Like nothing, no fat booty, no big booty, no nothing is worth losing what we have. I'm just serious. We went to Hooters and they chicks was out.
Oh my gosh.
Right? They was out. Ain't none of that worth losing you, baby. I would be miserable without you.
Little skinny girls going around there. Okay.
What? I'm just saying, I ain't saying now, but I'm saying period. I mean, it's everywhere. Like, I was telling her the other day, it's like, yo, it don't matter what I'm doing. Like, when I got resaved and rededicated, I unfollowed thousands of people, right? You know, Instagram models, celebrities, like celebrity crushes, all of that. I didn't want nothing in my my eye gates to potentially get me off track, right? It don't matter how many times how many people I unfollow, how much stuff I block, how much, it's still from time to time, you know how Instagram, the algorithm will suggest you pull up stuff. Guess what it's suggesting? They want you to fail. They want you to sin. They suggesting cheats. Didn't I tell you that? It's like, yo, it don't matter. My thing is sports. I follow sports, business, motivational stuff, right? Pastors, Christian rappers, and stuff like that. Guess what? I'll stroll, and then guess what? Suggested follow. It be some cheeks popping. And guess what I gotta do? I gotta push the little thing, say, no, I don't want this type of content coming up on my feed. But guess what? I don't own it. I don't own the platform, right? So be careful. I don't want to go down this road. Be careful what you put before your eyes and what you allow others to put before your eyes. Because guess what? You can manifest it. Can I get all the way real?
Come on.
When I was out there, and maybe this is a tip for the women like I don't want to say it that way because somebody can take it wrong, but when I was out there, I used to be amazed of how fast it went from social media interaction to bedroom interaction. I mean, it was like that. It wasn't like, it wasn't no long courting phase. It's like social media interaction, next thing I know is bedroom action. Like that. The easiest thing to get, and I'm going to say this, and y'all women, y'all take it the way that y'all take it, and I'm going to say it like this. Y'all, women can change this world. Y'all have the power. But if I can so easily take the power, and y'all so easily give yourselves up, right? Why would a man want to marry you? If he can get everything? I'm just being honest. Like, why I gotta marry you? I can have access to your money, your food, your body, everything. If I'm not saved and don't know the benefits, if I'm not a man of God and I don't know the benefits of being in covenant and being married to somebody, why?
So what he's saying, women, let's do it.
That goes back to her question. Yeah. Don't lower your standards.
Yes.
If the standard of your father is you wait till marriage to have sex, guess what?
Yeah.
You take those sex goggles off, you're going to begin to see who that person really is.
Yeah.
So you take that sex off the table and you take them goggles off and you wait till you hear from the Lord to marry that person, you're going to see who they are. Go ahead and finish talking to the ladies.
Just saying, that's what he's saying. Like, let's don't be easy, because we can have an attachment. Like, I felt like if I had sex with somebody, I would have been attached to that person, and I was attached to him. He was my one and only, but I was attached to him. Like, I didn't want nobody else. Like, I wanted that one. So that's what he's trying to say. Like, let's don't give it up so easy. Like, be a woman of God. Stay strong. Hold on to your faith, to your everything. Like, don't give it up. Point blank.
So no, you should not be lowering, back to that question, your value. Like, if women knew truly how much they were worth, you know, we're not going to talk about it, but she talked about the hardest part in the book. Y'all going to have to get this book, I promise you.
Right.
She talked about the hardest part for her to write in the book. The hardest part of that in me is that I left her uncovered to be even tempted in that way. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's like, in having to deal with that, like, that's part of what hurts me, is that I left my wife uncovered. Like, she was always my wife, and I put her away to allow her to be tempted, or allow her to fall in. Although she didn't go, like, you know, the way it could have went, it was enough to hurt. You know what I'm saying? And to know that, you know, I'm part responsible for that. Like, that doesn't feel good, but I'm grateful, like I said, where we are now. So yeah, women, if y'all just knew y'all worth, y'all are the most beautiful thing God has ever created, and the most valuable thing God created. Like, he relates wisdom to you. Like, man, he calls wisdom a her. Man, we ain't got to go down that road. That could be a whole nother podcast. Part of the reason why women don't know who they are is a lot of them, you know, maybe didn't have fathers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not all, but a lot of them. One thing that for my birthday, my daughter shared that really touched my heart is that I always spoke into her. I always told her how beautiful she was. I always told her how valuable she was, and I always spoke into her life. So when young men came along, she wasn't just all messed up because they told her she was beautiful and she'd never heard it before. Mm-hmm. Her father had already poured into her and told her how beautiful she was and helped build her worth and who she was. So yeah. But yeah, we don't have to talk about it. That's a whole nother podcast. Right? So let's tell them when they can get the book, where they can get the book. So the book comes out this Friday, so 2 days from now, right? Valentine's Day, okay? Get the book on Amazon. I want my baby to become an Amazon best-selling author. I've hit #1 on Amazon twice, right? So let's get this thing to #1. I believe it's going to help people, right? Order, it'll be available at 10 a.m. on Friday, Valentine's Day, right? February 14th, 10 a.m. Make sure you order your copy. I'm going to have the link below. You use that link on Friday and get your copy of the book. We promise you, you won't be disappointed. Go ahead, babe. What you got to say?
Nothing.
What you laugh about?
Nothing.
We got some embarrassing pictures in here too. Right? And some embarrassing stories.
Right.
And I want you to speak on this. We didn't want to do this.
No.
Nope.
We did not. We did not. But it kept coming to, and I'm thankful we did, because like we have had so many testimonies and stuff happen that we were there for, to help try to pull somebody out, or to how do you say it, to testify, or just tell of the goodness of God where we've been through. Like, but no, I didn't want to write a book. I did not want to sit down and even begin to think of how to start to do it, which, like, he is a publisher, but no, I've never done anything like that. So, I mean, just the revelations that we've gotten, that from hearing from my pastor, well, my old pastor, and people telling him, "Your pastor too?"
Yeah. Well, he's
our pastor now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did not want to do this.
No, like when my we gonna end on this story. But when I told my pastor I wanted my family back, he was like, "Man, it's gonna make an amazing book." And she said it. I'm a publisher. I deal in books every single day, right? And I was like, I don't want to hear nothing about no book. Bro, I want my family back. Like, forget a book. I'm not writing no book. I'm not going to monetize my story. No. He said, you're not listening to me. This is going to be an amazing book, and it's going to help a bunch of people. And I was like, I don't want to hear that. And the following week, my brother, Terrence Forgiven Carlton, who led me to Christ in 2002, I tell him the same thing. Bro, I need you to pray for me. I need you to pray with me. I want my family back. I want to reconcile. I want to work it out. He said, bro, this is going to be an amazing book. And I said, if one more person say something to me about a book, I don't want to hear nothing about no book, bro. This ain't about no book. He said, no, bro, you missing it. This story, y'all's story, is going to help a bunch of people. Like, you're going to have to do it. I was like, I don't want to hear that. Then she come telling me what her pastor said that she gonna write, and I was like, oh my God, because I never even mentioned to her what my pastor said or my friend said. I didn't until she said that, and I was like, what do you think? You think we should write a book? And she was like, yeah, I think we're supposed to do it. And that's when I knew it was God. So this was not Kelly's idea. Everybody who knows me, I have ideas. I'm always trying to monetize everything. I did not want to monetize our story. I didn't want to do a podcast. I didn't want to do any of this. I just wanted my family back. I wanted to build my business and just drive off in the sunset. But as she said, the amount of feedback, the amount of inboxes we get, the amount of testimonies we get about how this podcast is helping people, we know this is from the Lord. We know this is Him. Yeah, so I am grateful. Make sure you get your copy on Friday,
Yes.
10 a.m. We need everybody to order at 10 a.m. That's what's going to boost it up, the bestseller rankings on Amazon, right? So make sure you get it. All right. Anything you want to say, babe? You proud of this?
I'm proud. Yeah.
I'm very proud of this. So we're praying. We just recorded the audiobook. We're praying it'll be available Friday as well. If not, it's coming. But either way, get a book. Get a book. Even if it's when you bless somebody with it. Get 2 copies, right? It will be available in hard copy, paperback, and the ebook version. So, and then audio eventually if it's not up by Friday. So I'm just grateful for this journey with you. I'm happy with you. You're my best friend. My biggest bug.
Your biggest bug?
You a bug. As they say in Chicago, you a bug. No,
like
but
that.
I drive her absolutely insane. I'm always messing with her. Y'all think we go out on here, but we do. This is my best friend. This is who I mess with.
Purple, my favorite color.
Yeah, how did it end up being purple?
I don't know.
I think that's just what we chose, like what we wore for our photo
Right.
shoot, right?
Yeah.
I think on the next episode we're gonna give away. No, let's do the giveaway now. I'm making this up off the fly.
Okay.
Okay. The first person who shares this episode, okay, and tags us in the post, okay. If you're not following us on all social media, it is Kelly and Natasha, okay. I want you to do this on Instagram, okay. Share this episode, tag us in the post. The first person who I get the notification from that they tagged us in it, right? And they done it, they actually shared this episode, we're gonna send you a free autographed copy of the book. Right? All right, how's this sound?
Hey, but go now and follow us on Instagram, Kelly and Natasha.
Make sure you're following us. Follow us on Instagram.
That sounds good.
Yep, we're on Instagram. Like our Facebook page. Guess what? TikTok is back. So follow us on TikTok as well. And make sure you're subscribing right here on YouTube. Last thing I want to mention too is if it hasn't been announced yet, I believe it's been announced. If it hasn't been announced yet, this Sunday is our first book signing.
Oh.
And our first talk at our church, Thankful Baptist Church. So we will be at Thankful Baptist Church. The pastor is going to be interviewing us and we will be sharing our testimony. And then afterwards, we're doing a book signing. I'm excited about it. She's nervous. She's scared. This is going to be her first speaking opportunity, sharing her testimony. So y'all keep us in prayer. Pray more for her, though, because she's nervous. First book signing for her. First everything. So we're excited about it. And guess what? We're going to be coming to a city near you as well. We're going to be going on a book signing tour. All right. So look out for those dates and places. And if you want us to come to your city, you want us to come to your church, make sure you just send us an email, admin@kellyandnatasha.com. And guess what? It's already down there in the comment box, right? I think we gave them enough this week. What you think?
Yep.
Do you got any final words?
No, just thanks. And like we said, always share, subscribe, help us out. We love you. God bless.
God bless you. Good night. Peace.
Hey guys, just wanted to come to you thanking you for checking out the Finally One podcast.
Listen, this is what we need you to do. We need to grow our following. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Make sure you're sharing these episodes. You don't know what couple that they may help. So subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You don't know who you're going to help. And make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yes, guys, share. Help us.
Yep, and you don't know who you're going to help. So it's not about us. It's about helping couples, right?
Share, yeah.
So share, like, subscribe. Help us get our following up.